Okay, welcome everybody. This is going to be our first video. We're beginning with Parshas Yisro, Perek Ches, Pesukim Chaf Aleph through Chaf Zayin. We are up to the section of Torah where Yisro makes his suggestion to Moshe Rabbeinu in developing the court system for Klal Yisrael. So he says, Pasuk Chaf Aleph, V'ata techazeh mikol am anshe chayil yirei Elokim anshe emes sonei batza. So Yisro says to Moshe, you're going to see, or you're going to find, Mikol Am, out of all the nation, people, Anshe Chayil, men that are accomplished, Yirei Elokim, they're God-fearing Jews, Anshe Emes, they're truthful, Sonei Batza, and they hate money. The Samta, Alayim, Sarei, Alafim, Sarei Meos, Sarei Chamashim, V'Sarei Asaros. And you should place them upon thousands, upon hundreds, upon fifties, upon tens. Meaning these people will be the judges of Klal Yisrael. So they have to fit a very specific criteria in order to become a judge. Rashi is very clear with the specific categories that these people had to fill, the criteria that they needed to meet. Rashi says, Anshe Chayil. What does that mean? That they were ashirim, that they were wealthy people. They didn't need to take any bribes. They were wealthy people. They didn't need anyone else's money. Anshe emes, ilu balei haftacha, sheim kedai lismoch al divreihem. They were trustworthy people who you could rely on. Shayidei kein yu divreim nishmoim. Whatever they said, people would listen to. Sonei batza, Rashi says, shesonin, they hated esmamonam. They hated money. They didn't have a love for money. Bidin kidahi de'amrinan kol dina demafkin mamoina minei bidina lav dinahu. Because we say that whenever money is part of the din, and whenever money takes an effect on the judgment, that judgment is not real. Rashi breaks down the numbers for us, and he tells us exactly why the pasuk breaks it down in this way. Says Rashi, Sarei Alafim, they were leaders of thousands. Him Hayu Sheish Meos Sarim, there were 600 Sarim officers. The Sheish Meos Elef, there were 600 officers for 600,000 people, right? Sarei Meos, and then there were officers over hundreds. Sheishis Alafim Hayu, there was 100 officers that were in charge of 6,000 people. Again, first there was 600 officers in charge of 1,000. Then there was 100 that was in charge of 6,000, and then there was Sarei Chamishim. There was 50 that was in charge of Shneim Asar Elef, 12,000 people. The Sarei Asaros, and then there was 10 people that were in charge of 60 Shishim Elef, that were in charge of 60,000 people. So there was levels of judges, and the more chashiv, more important judges would take the more difficult cases. Yisro continues, if you do this, v'shaftu esa'am b'chol eis, and they're going to judge the nation, haya kol davar gadol yavo elecha. Anything that's really big and it's too hard for them to handle, they're going to bring to you. But anything that's small, anything that they're able to do, they're going to judge on their own. And it's going to lighten the load for you by you delegating and giving out authority to other people. It'll make your job easier, and you'll be able to judge better because you'll have more time to spend on the more difficult cases. Says Yisro, if you do what I'm telling you to do, and Hashem agrees, and Hashem commands you to do the same thing, you'll be able to sustain yourselves. You guys will arrive in peace, and everything will be successful. Moshe Rabbeinu, being the big tzaddik that he is, the humble person that he was able to accept Yisro's constructive criticism, was able to accept his advice. It says the pasuk, Vayishma Moshe lekol chosno. Yisro listened to the voice of his father-in-law. Vayas kol asher amar, and he did everything he told him to do. So Moshe goes ahead. Vayivchar Moshe anshe chayil And Moshe goes and he chooses very chashuv people, Mikol Yisrael, V'yisein osam roshim ala'am, and he places them as the leaders of the nation. Sari alafim, Sari meos, Sari chamishim, Sari asaros. He places them as leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, leaders of 50, and leaders of tens. We'll discuss exactly what the breakdown is of those numbers. V'shaftu esa'am b'chol eit, and they judge the people. Esa davar hakasha yaviyun l'Moshe v'chol davar hakaton yishpetuhem. And whatever Yisro suggested, that's what was put into play over here. All the little cases they took care of, and anything that was too difficult was brought to Moshe Rabbeinu. Vayishalach Moshe es chosna. Moshe sent his father-in-law away. Vayilech lo el arzo, and he went back to his land. Rashi says, what does it mean? He went back to his land. Vayilech lo el arzo. Legayer b'nei mishpachto. He went to convert the rest of his family.